from Frankfort, Kentucky, and just riding along. This is October the 23rd. This is, like I said, Frankfort, Kentucky. It's 82 degrees out here, and it's 2:20 in the afternoon. Just driving along, and a lovely Sunday afternoon. I hope you enjoy this little ride-along video. And I think it's slightly tilted or something, and I will try to arrange that a little differently at the next light or something. And it's been a very busy week last week, and this weekend I went to Indiana yesterday, up in the Kokomo area, and should have some footage of that soon. Passing the University of Kentucky State. I don't think I have my camera set as high as I want it to be able to get something other than just road. I really don't want to get just road here. Let's see. Maybe that's better. Could be better. Hope so. That way just a little smidge. Okay, maybe that's better. I hope so. Alright. So like I said, this is beautiful Frankfort, Kentucky, Franklin County, and I'm going to just for a moment stop off here, drive up to the cemetery, and my husband was laid to rest here almost 8 years ago. I still come up frequently. This time of year especially, and in the spring especially. This cemetery is a very peaceful, and as far as cemeteries goes, it's a beautiful place. You know, it's just, you think about the fact that there's so many people buried here. It's not as huge as the one in Lexington. They say it's really big. But I'm going to drive around so I don't bump you going across those traffic stops. I go around behind their little office building here sometimes just to avoid the bumping so much. Isn't this beautiful here though? It's really so peaceful. Let's see if I can adjust this so that we don't have... No, I guess that's good. Okay. Maybe that's okay. Alrighty then. And maybe driving around here, do a little extra driving around. Sorry about the bumping. It's a little bit. I always think it's peaceful up here. My husband was buried here in January, and it was a cold, drizzly day, early part of January, and a few years ago, and it was, I guess, the most terrible time in my life. And you know, the thing about losing somebody you've been married to for a lot of years, or you've been in love with a lot of years. Now, I don't know a thing about divorce because I've never been divorced, but I would imagine that's a terrible thing as well, very terrible. And but I know that death is it's a devastating thing, and sometime I'm going to plan anyway to create something about grief and such. Look at that right there. Look at that. I'm going to lift the camera up a little. That's a ginkgo biloba. Look at that tree. Isn't that fantastic? Even to be right here in the cemetery, it's really beautiful. And like I said, you know, you wouldn't even find a more peaceful place for a cemetery, I wouldn't think, to be so big with so many people here resting. It's not really, you know, for some people it would be a troubling situation to go to a cemetery very often, but I'm not that person, you know. Look at this. Well, I come up here because I think, well, you know, I knew him, you know, and at first I was coming a lot because I just really couldn't, you know, stay away because it was the last place of, you know, well, you know, and I just, but I thought, well, you know, I think, well, if he was alive, he'd say, see, I knew you'd forget me. I knew you would. I knew it. So, yeah, I knew. And so, you know, for a long time I came because I just felt I needed to be here. And then the rest of the time I've come here because I thought that, you know, that he would probably think, and if he was here, he would be like that about it. So, you know, I'm going to pull right here for just a minute and switch the lens around just a little bit. So, well, no, if I do that, I might mess up your ability to be able to see this. So I'm just going to wait. But you can look across from the cemetery here. When you go around this side of it, you can look across and see the Capitol building in Frankfort, you know. I try to go slow through here, you know, so. Isn't this beautiful in here? This is absolutely stunning to be a cemetery. I'm just gonna drive around in here more. I don't usually just drive around in here, you know, it's not what I do. I come up here on purpose, you know, to just to say hi, you know, just to visit the resting place of him. Okay, so if I turn a little funny right here for a minute, well, just aren't the trees beautiful? Absolutely beautiful. I think about all the sadness, all the grief through the years, and there's people laying to rest here that was buried here, I guess, in the 1800s. At least they lived in the 1800s. What I want you to see is, see over there, it's the Capitol building. Can you see that? Let me make sure you can see that. See that? That's the Capitol building over there across the way. And I hope I got this set back right so that, because I'm going up the hill right now, but I don't know how well you can see this, and I want you to. I want you to be able to see this, and I thank you for riding along with me. I feel like I don't have this just right, but I'll get it just in a minute. Okay. Going down the hill here a little bit. Still don't feel like I've got this adjusted right. Somehow I messed it up a little bit. I hope you'll be a little patient with me. Is that sideways or something, you think? Maybe. I'm sorry, making you crazy, probably. Okay, I think that might be good. Hope so. Can't really tell. Sun's glaring on everything. So right now, the flowers people have planted are dying and have got to be plucked up, you know, and something done about that. Let's see. Can't really see it very good. Okay, that might be better. Okay, I hope so. Anyway, see there? The Lewis thing? I've got to come up here and pull his marigolds up. That's where my beloved is resting. Hi, baby. Just stopping by. I miss you. Love you. Bye. I always try to say a little something. You know, whether he can hear me or not, of course. I mean, you know. But he was mine. And I miss him. So we're still driving along in the cemetery. Look at those fabulous, fabulous trees. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Wow, just unbelievable. Unbelievable. I think maybe after this ride along with you, I hadn't been able to do it before. I mean, like I would take pictures of the tops of some of these really pretty trees in the spring and in the fall, but I think now that I brought you here with me in this ride along and talking with you a little bit, I might actually be able to take some pictures of, you know, the beautiful foliage here in the cemetery, you know. I hadn't really been able to do that very much, not and leave the headstones in it. I always crop those out. But now I'm thinking I might just be able to leave them in, you know. So I'm trying to get a picture of that foliage right there. It's so pretty. All right. I love fall colors. Autumn in Kentucky. Remember the little video I made of that? I've got more. I've got some pictures and just a little smidgen of video from going up to Red River Gorge recently. My son drove me up there, and it was, you know, I could have, but it's not really a place I want to be by myself, you know. I like being able to share it with someone. We used to go up there every year and take our kids hiking, and so, you know, my kids like to make sure I get those trips. And look at this. I mean, it's just such a peaceful place to rest. I'm going to circle all the way around here and then come back and drive through, you know, and we'll just see what we can see. Sorry about the bounce. Whoa, it flipped my camera around. I didn't tell it to do that, right? Let's see. Can you see anything of the road right now? We don't want to do you that way, right? There we go. Isn't that better? That's better. I think it might be a little sideways. Here we go. Somebody's kind of behind me or something, but I really feel like you've got to be respectful. Usually this tree right here is really pretty. The one after it right there, see that one right there? Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. I don't know if that's sweet gum or something else, but it's beautiful. This cemetery has fantastic color. in it right now. And in the spring, you know, you have the pink and white blossoms, and you have the magnolias are blooming. They have magnolia trees in here. I think it's magnolia. And it's just beautiful and gorgeous. With the sun's glare, I don't know if I'm getting good footage or not. I have to wait till I look at it later and see if it's any good at all. But isn't this fantastic? It really is. And I'm going to go down through here, and people are often out walking. They come up here to walk, and of course that's entirely up to them if this is the kind of place they want to go to walk, but it wouldn't be for me, but everybody's different. I'm going to turn right here and go around through here under this fabulous ginkgo tree. Just look at that. Isn't that beautiful right there? And that building right there. I'm not absolutely certain, but I know they probably keep some tools and things. Maybe, I don't know what they do with that. I know they put, you know, sometimes whatever they take off of the cemetery, flowers and such in there, I think. Maybe they hold some kind of service in here. I really don't know. I've never asked. I like the shape of the building, though. I think it's really unique and pretty. And I like it. Be respectful, you know. I don't know if I'm getting this exactly like what you want to see. There's down in there is I don't know, it's I guess it may be some sort of tomb or something. I'm not exactly sure about that. Not really sure. Okay. Driving around through here again. I think we came by this way possibly a few minutes ago, maybe. Not sure if we did. Maybe not. But I'm going to go back out around through there and point out to you that, you know, they say that Daniel Boone and Rebecca Boone are buried in here. Now, whether they actually are or not, I don't know. But people stop there all the time to visit, you know. So, it's right out through there, the fence and everything. I think my cameras are just a little bit crooked right now. There we go. I think that's better. I'm not sure what these people are doing, but my late husband loved spring. Spring was his favorite time of year. Autumn is my favorite time of year. And he would take me for drives when the leaves were flying up on the road and falling down on us, and, you know, and I loved getting out and walking around when that was happening too. Now, right here is where they say that, you know, Daniel Boone is buried here, they say, and Rebecca. And you go behind those ropes there and walk down through there, I guess. I've never been there, never been down there, you know. But I plan to do some things like that if I live long enough. And yeah. and just see what it's like. Now, we already went around that way, and I think we went that way. Let me just make sure. Don't have a whole lot more to drive you around, but you know, they have the there's Paul Sawyer. I'll come up in here sometime and take a bunch of pictures and string them together, you know, and see who all I can figure out is famous besides Daniel Boone, you know. I think I might have went this way, I'm not sure. But down in there is, when you look down the bank there, is if you drive around, when you pass where my husband is resting, you drive around down there, and they have the, like I said, the memorial or something for the unborn, and that's for the little children that people miscarried, I guess. Ladies miscarried and stuff, so they have that. And Kentucky Memorial for the Unborn, it says. They have this beautiful, big, like a shiny thing, you know, like they would do for war, so like soldiers in the war or something, and they put their names on and stuff. They did that, and they have like a little statue of a mother holding a child, I think. It's been a while since I've been there, but we went once and looked at it, and it's just a beautiful thing they've created, you know, for the unborn, for people's babies that didn't get to live, you know. They get to have their name on something, and it's a very nice thing to do. So we're almost out of here. This way right here is like, it's a little bit above the road I took you through when I was going past where my husband was resting. It's a little bit above it, but so beautiful, isn't it? I mean, to be a cemetery now, which is a very sad place for most people. It's a very sad place. It's a sad and heartbreaking place for me, but almost 8 years, I'm much better. I miss him. It took a long time to know if it was real. You know, I knew it was, but I just couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. But if he was going to leave me, this was a good place for him to rest. A good place. And that's a nice memorial thing right there. Don't you think that's nice? Look at that. That's nice. Exactly sure who this honors. I would go around the other side of it, but I think I'm going to go this side because it just kind of circles around anyway. And so I'm going to go around this way. If you've watched it this far, and of course I don't know if you will or not, but if you do, and you've reached this point, if you like it, click the like button, and if you would please remember to subscribe. I have more things in store for us, you know, and so I appreciate you being here with me on this peaceful Sunday afternoon. I feel less alone when you ride along with me, and thank you for being here. We're almost out of the cemetery. Now, there's a little road that goes, not that one, that's the one I came out from, well, a little earlier, but there's another little road that you take down here There's different little roads, and you drive around some others. And in here is where, of course, there's different areas. I haven't looked at all of it, you know, but a lot of it is where they have people that lived here they lived at least in the 1800s and was buried in the early 1900s. They may have further back than that. I have to check it out. And then, of course, there's a little road that goes to the side here, too. And, whoops, we bounced just a little bit right there. And there's another little road down here that goes to the side. And then right out here is where we turn right, and we leave the cemetery, trying to drive slow. When my husband was first laid to rest up here, and I would come up here by myself, I come all the time, you know, and I would drive like 5 miles an hour. I'm not doing a whole lot better than that right at the moment either, but you know, it's just so I won't bounce so much. But on the other hand, I do believe that we need to be very, very respectful. You know, this isn't a place for just anything. It's a place to be very respectful is what it is. You know. And so I hope this little video is not too bouncy. I know there's some places where, you know, it kind of slid and I moved it around a little too much.